I thought we started. So we have Bernie Celedon.
What's up, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
How you doing?
How you doing,
Great.
man?
I'm wonderful.
Thank you for coming on and talking about your new movement on the podcast, buddy.
Yeah, man. I'm happy. You know, we got this new thing going on, and it just started about a month ago, and we just kind of ran with it. It started as I guess you would say, almost like an experiment, you know, and here we are now.
So what is it? All right. So it's called Adoracion. Adoracion?
I'm gonna let you and then Mike give it a shot, and then I'll say it the incorrect way.
All right. Adoracion en Casa.
Adoracion en Casa.
Y'all got the en Casa like down. Like,
I'm comfortable with that one.
It's good. It's good for sure. Adoracion en Casa. That's how you say it.
What does that mean?
It means worship from home.
That's really nice, man. That's official.
Yeah, it's something.
Did you come up with that on your own?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of common. It's just like it's just like worship. I guess you have to know the backstory of why I called it, you know, worship from home, which it's a long story. So
yeah, let's get into it. So was church in-person service was obviously canceled due to COVID, right?
Yeah, for sure. So last year, probably around the summer was whenever it got really, really bad, and you know, the whole COVID thing. So that's whenever they started just canceling services, and for some time they were just canceling, so there wasn't any church service. So then eventually, the church where I go, they started letting people come back and make services. They would make services, but they would only have so many people there. And then really the way this whole thing started was about a month ago. My mom came down with COVID, and so did my dad. But at that time, we were already going to church. You know, this was a month ago, so we were already at church. But so she got hospitalized, and she was at the hospital for about 2 weeks. And, you know, just whenever you get sent to the hospital, admitted to the hospital, and for COVID, you can't have people. I don't think you can have people there regardless. You can't have visitors, right? Even if it's non-COVID. So she couldn't see anybody, and she you know, she was there for 2 weeks, and you know, I just kind of thought, you know, man, it'd be nice if we can. The only thing they have in front of them is either the TV or their cell phone, right? In their room. So I was like, man, if we make something, if we go live from church or from my house or something, and we bring worship songs, you know, they can see them from their phone, you know, just kind of like a way to like encourage them, and, you know, just make them somewhat feel like they're not trapped there by themselves, right? So that's kind of how it started. So I think it's been a month and a half already that what happened was I got a cousin of mine. So my parents go to a different church. I don't go to the church they do, which is right across the street from where I go.
Got to be different, huh?
That's that's kind of funny too. But so my cousin goes to that church, and I asked him, I said, hey man, you know, I'm thinking about doing this. I don't sing, but I want to host it. You know, this worship from home thing. I want to host it, but I want you to bring some songs and bring your keyboard, and we'll just Facebook Live it. And he's like, yeah, man, for sure. I'm down. You know, that sounds good. It sounds fun. I'm down. So then the keyboardist at my church, I asked him the same thing. I said, hey man, you know, we're thinking about doing this. And, you know, I had to tell him the backstory. You know, my mom, she's that, you know, I want to get her encouraged, send her words of encouragement. Not just her, though. At that time, there were so many people from our church, so many relatives that were hospitalized, you know, and so they were facing the same, you know, dilemma where they couldn't go to church because they were in the hospital. But the only thing we could do was just bring it to them, you know, bring it home, you know. So the keyboardist, I asked him, you know, hey, you want to do this? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm down. So instead of having one guy, you know, it ended up being us three. So it was my cousin Josue, and then the keyboardist from my church. His name is Oscar. And we just started like just randomly. We got together. I remember I asked the pastor on our Friday service, I said, hey, we're thinking about doing this. Would it be okay? We did it here from church. Because I kind of considered doing it from my house, you know. And he's like, no, you guys can do it. Whatever y'all want to do, whatever you guys need, you got my support. So I was like, well, we're just going to do this thing tomorrow. That's it. This was Friday night, so we're going to do it Saturday. So I was like, we're going to do this, just see what happens. So we get our stuff together Saturday afternoon. We didn't even announce it. We didn't have a Facebook page or nothing, you know. Now we got a Facebook page for the program. Worship from Home, Adoracion de Casa.
He does it too easy.
I know.
So yeah, we got together and we just hit that record button. You know, we went live. We started playing a couple of songs, and it went from 2 people viewing it to 55 people viewing it.
Right.
And it's like, it's not even about the views. It's more of the interaction, because so many people started seeing it, and they started requesting special songs, because some of the people that follow us, they know my cousin Josue, so they know the songs he plays. And then some people know Oscar, and they know the songs he plays, right? So it's kind of both worlds, I guess you would say. So people started requesting songs. We were going to be on there for an hour. 3 hours and like 53 minutes later, we're trying to we're trying to close up shop, and people are like, "You guys got to keep going." And it's like, I mean, it was already 4 hours.
Encore.
We were tired. Yeah, encore for real. So we were tired, and either way, so it was 3 hours and 50 something minutes. So had we thought about continuing, I didn't know. We found out like on the 3rd Saturday that there's a 4-hour limit anyways.
Oh, man.
Oh, good. Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, okay. So there's a 4-hour limit that you can stream. Now, I don't know if you can end the stream and then stream again. I don't know. We're not planning on going that long.
That's a long time.
I can't go that long. We can't go that long. So
do y'all practice? Did y'all practice before, or do y'all practice like throughout the week now?
No, we still don't practice. So here's the thing. My cousin, he practices at his church with his people, with his band. And so whenever we're in the program live, he's playing his music. So he practiced his music, with his people. And then me and Oscar practice, because I play at church where we attend. So me and him practice. But it's like, now, I bought me it's called a cajon, and it's like a drum, right? A manual drum. You sit on it, and so I can follow either or. I can follow Josue, or I can follow Oscar. So we practice, but kind of we go our own ways, about it.
Right.
So
this must have been somewhat passion driven, because you don't have experience in this, right? Like, I mean, no. I almost consider you, I'm confused at times, but I almost consider you an introvert. But this is a very extrovert thing to do.
For sure.
And so you confuse me sometimes, but like, you're passionate about it because you're getting out of your elements to get in front of many people on a live stream, which I'm still not comfortable doing live streams. So for sure. Getting up and, spreading the word to everybody. Going to that, and also like, how do you gain the experience of preaching? Like, where do you get your content from? Or
so what we do is like, so we started by just sharing songs, right? And I on my own time, I read the Bible, so I try to share some short verses on there. So I don't really preach. I just kind of I host and I share verses in between. People will comment with prayer requests, and we'll pray about, their requests based on what the requests are. But what we started doing was, after our first program where we just shared songs, I think it was after our second program, my parents, they mentioned, by then my mom was out of hospital already. She was already home. And, they mentioned, you ought to consider, bringing people in to share, short messages. And I'm like, man, That's great. You know, that's less talking for me too, because, you know, I don't like to talk a lot either. So now what we do is we share worship songs, and we also have people, we have special guests come. So at first we used to just stream them through Facebook, so they would join our stream, and that's good and all, but we've had people from South America join the stream and from Mexico, and it's not as easy to do because of the signal they had, the reception they have in South America and in Mexico. It's not like here, you know, this is top notch here. So we try to get people that can share the message of God to come into the program, their lives. So we bring them into the church, and they come by, and we've had some people that sing, some guitarists. I think you saw where we had 3 guitars doing like a thing. Wow. That was pretty sweet. Yeah. So there are some people. They are people that attend a church in Freeport. So now, you know, we bring people into the program, whether it's through them joining our stream, or them coming actually to our to where we're recording, and they'll share messages too. So it's a little bit it's easier on us because we share songs. You know, I kind of talk in the middle. I share some verses, but ultimately, whenever it's time to share like a 10 to 15 minute message, we bring somebody in. So
I like how y'all are collaborating. It's a very different model. I think you're almost creating this new thing to where, you know, you normally go to church and it's kind of the same thing. You know, you're getting different messages, but it's the same band, but you're bringing people in, making people feel welcome. Everybody's sharing their own perspective, and then, sure. And it's great. And did your mom, how receptive was she? Happy about you starting it?
Yeah, So of course they were super happy about it, and they're super supportive even now. You know, now that she's at home, and you know, it's for me. I thought about her at the time, but now, you know, we think of others that are still not able to go to church. So that's why it's more of we welcome everybody, because I'm not trying to reach out to the congregation where I go to our congregation. We're just trying to reach out to anybody that wants to hear some worship songs, a good message, you know, some of hope. So we try to make it where it's almost like universal. I like bringing people from different churches, and I tell them, you know, talk about your church, tell us where you go. I'm not trying to say, hey, I'm doing this so you guys can come to our church. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. My cousin Josue, I always mention his church, and then Oscar, he mentions his church, which is where I go. But the other people that come in too, you know, they talk about where they attend, because, you know, people that are listening, you also got to think about, there's a lot of people that don't go to church, you know, but they know me on Facebook, or they'll know my cousin, or they'll know Oscar. Once we start streaming, we start sharing it, right? So to different pages. So a lot of people don't even go to church. So they might like the way Josue sings, or they might like the way Oscar sings, or they might like the way I host, or if we had a certain preacher come in, they might like the way, you know, they preach. So we like to say, you know, hey, tell us where you're coming from. That way, if people want to go see you guys, they know where to go.
All right. That's like a band of brothers mentality, almost like bringing everyone together. Yeah. It's not a competition thing where that person goes to that church, so I can't affiliate with that person. Sure. You're bringing everyone together. It's you're teaming up the whole community to do good.
Yeah. So we kind of had whenever we started bringing people in, you know, we had some obstacles where people were thinking I was trying to bring people into our church, participate in our program, and just kind of keep them there. And it's like, that's not what, you know, that's not what we're about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I want you to, if I bring you in, I want you to tell us where you go. And if people want to go to where you go, you know, that's fine. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because again, there's people that just don't go to church, and, you know, maybe they get inspired to go to a church, but they might like the way you talk, or the way you talk, or the way I talk. So we'll let them decide. That's
an awesome mentality. It's a common purpose. It's very special, Bern, that you're doing that. What goes into planning now each show or each, because I imagine people, you know, a big part, I don't go to church now, but when I did, the music portion for me was the biggest thing. So I think that you highlighting the music portion is what's bringing in everybody, because they're so drawn to music. Music is just it touches people on a spiritual level. So y'all are doing a fantastic thing.
Yeah. So I noticed, you know, lately that we still have to find the sweet spot on how much praise and worship we should have versus how much message we should have, because I notice, and maybe some of the people that have came share messages, they may listen to this, you know, I don't mean it in a offending way, but I noticed that the amount of views during the live stream, we'll have a lot of people whenever there's songs being shared, and then whenever it's time for the message, views go down.
Oh no.
Yeah, views go down. And it's like, man, it's crazy. It's like, you know, some people enjoy listening to songs, you know, because they can identify with them, or, you know, it's a good thing for them. But other people like listening to the message, you know, and some people like listening to both. But a lot of people like to listen to the songs. Yeah. So it's like, you know, some of the people that I go to church with, you know, whenever we talk, you know, they give us words of encouragement. But it's like, you know, they always, a couple of people always tell me, don't lose like the sweet spot from the beginning was to share praise and worship. So it's like, you know, don't lose that. You know, that's your main thing right there. That's your hook right there, right? So we're still, again, it's only been a month. I think we've done six Facebook Lives so far, 6 Saturdays. We do them every Saturday. And we're still experimenting, you know, we're still trial and error kind of thing. So I think we'll eventually get it to a sweet spot, because at first it was just music, and then we started bringing people in, and then a couple of programs, we had like 4 preachers, you know, 4 people that preach, maybe not necessarily preachers, but we had 4 people on there sharing their message. And so we had a lot less praise and worship time during those programs. So it's like, that's not it either, you know, so we have to find that sweet spot.
That's great. You have like 2 sides to it. So yeah, it's interesting. You see the likes go up when the music comes on, and then the message comes in and they kind of drop. That's kind of how like TV works too. I mean, it's become, TV's like this fast hit, like changing scenes quickly, trying to get your attention, but then it loses the quality of the message. Yeah, I could see like you starting to do like a light show and fireworks and stuff. You're like, you know, more message.
You got to keep these people, you know, entertained. You know, it's crazy, but it's good, like, for sure. Like, I think just the fact that, you know, my cousin and Oscar, they're real good musicians, and they're real good at singing, and, you know, God uses them whenever you can feel it whenever they're singing. So it's like, man, I always like to think, it's like, man, I got some real good, you know, I got some real good people with me, you know, I got a strong, so it's like, I want to make sure I hold on to them. So I always try to baby them, and, you know, hey, you guys are doing a great job. I mean, they are, you know, but I try to make sure to keep them, because it's tiring, like, you know, to do it every Saturday. So we start the streaming. We try to start it around 8 p.m. Reason we did that is because it's Saturday. It's Saturday night. Most of the people are already, you know, hanging out at home, chilling at home. You know, they've already ran their errands, you know. So we try to do it at 8 p.m. That's when I think we have the most people that can join from home. They have some free time to do it. So we start at 8, but, you know, we're there like at 5, you know, 5 or 5:30. I'm there at 5. I'm the first one to get there because I got to set up the camera and, you know, the recording and whatnot. But I like doing it. I enjoy it. You know, it's a passion for me. So it's like, it is some work, but, you know, I enjoy doing it. And they enjoy doing it too, you know, the musicians. But I know it's different once we go live, because they're the ones singing. You know, I just kind of host in between, and then I join them with my little drum. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand that it's tiring for them. So I try to encourage them to, you know, keep going. So
I like how you, you said screw it. Like the first couple ones we watched, you were kind of talking on the mic, reading from the Bible, and then you break into the music session. And you're like, I need to get me a bite of this. So you went and got a drum, and you just
well,
you're hitting the drum.
I've been a musician. I've been in the praise and worship bands in the churches that I've been to before. So it's almost like I was feeling left out, because I was like, man, I need to be doing something with my hands too. I don't want to just be standing here with this mic and I'm not even talking anymore because I got to let them sing, right? So it's like, no, I'm gonna get something that way I can get busy. I'm thinking of even putting a drum set, right by there, but until I get like the whole recording and the audio, and everything, nice and tight, that's when I'll be able to say, all right, I'm gonna put a small drum set there and I can play the drums or whatever. But I'm having a good time with that cajon, so it's good now.
He's gonna have the shield around him, and then he's gonna say, praise God. One, 2, 3. It's gonna progress. I already see your mind working.
He grows his hair out.
He
starts rocking it.
He puts it up. But I already see your mind working, and it's kind of like our minds. You do a few things, you get experience, and then you're like, oh, these are places where I can improve. Yeah. And then you take a trip to Guitar Center.
Yeah. So that's the thing right now. That's just a thing. Right? Yeah. That's where it gets tricky right there.
It gets a little tricky in there.
Yeah.
Huh?
So, again, when we first started, it was just, I'd put my iPhone there and just start recording. That was it. Just go live. And then it's like, man, what can we do to make it sound a little bit better, right? Yeah. And then so we started getting just using some good microphones and just kind of step at a time, right? Now, like the last 2 weeks, I gotta say, I'm not gonna lie, I've probably been to Guitar Center the last 2 weeks probably about 6 times. And so here's the thing, every time I've probably not spent under $300 to $400. Yeah. So, but I don't care. I like it, So the thing is, like, I'm buying a lot of equipment and I haven't really installed it yet because I'm kind of like, oh man, is this a Saturday to try it out? What if it doesn't come out right? You know what I'm saying? So I got some good stuff now. I was going to get me an interface, right? And so I can pick up my mixer sound into the recording instead of you guys just listening off the microphone on my iPhone. So then I go and I get the interface and it's like, all right, I got the interface. What else do I need? Well, I need a computer, right? And then I start talking to you guys and it's like, because you guys we're kind of going through the same thing, right? You guys are getting equipment, making, all this nice and pretty. So it's kind of the same thing for me. I'm kind of like right behind you guys kind of trying to do the same things. So it's like I start talking to John. It's like, I think I need me a computer, a computer or whatever. And he's like, you need a MacBook. You need a Mac. You're gonna need this. Yeah. So it's like, and I'm like, I'm not going to get a MacBook, dude. I'm good. I'm not going to get it. So it's like, and then we talk about it. Like, let's say we talked about it today, right? And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to get a MacBook. And then probably the next day I send you guys a screenshot of the delivery. You know what I'm saying? That it's coming to my house because I ordered a MacBook. Yeah. So so I bought that, and I got some neat stuff now. I went from getting the interface, I got the MacBook, and then I don't know what I went to do at Guitar Center.
You just black out, right? This is the story. You black out, you wake up, you're in Guitar Center again.
It's like the people that like, I'm not gonna say just females, but people that like shopping, they go to I hear like Target, right? It's a big thing, right? They go to Target and it's like you black out, you're just like you were there to pick up some toothpaste and then you walk out with like $300 worth. So that's how it is for me at Guitar Center right now. I went in there to get an interface and then
and where'd you get pulled through in Guitar Center? He's like, hey, I need to show you this special room.
So here's the thing, like, here's the thing, like, I'm not even influenced by anybody at Guitar Center. Like, when you go there, they let you do your thing. Like, they'll be like, if you got any questions, just come holler at me, So they won't be like, hey, man, look, we got this new stuff. Hey, if you get this, you're going to need this now. It's just like, just the whole environment just makes you just go crazy there. I went, I think I went to get some XLR cables for my microphone. I walked out of there with a PA system, like a speaker, the mixer, and I'm like, what do I need a speaker for? You know, I mean, I don't need it, but it's like, why not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, so what really kind of what pushed me was, and I just bought the PA system and the digital mixer last week. I had an aunt of mine that got hospitalized probably 3 or 4 days after my mom did. And so she was in the hospital for COVID, you know, but she had complications and she ended up passing, you know, a couple weeks ago. So we had her funeral service last Friday. And it's like her kids, my cousins, they called and said, hey, would you guys mind helping us do like a service for her, a special service? And she goes to my parents' church. So they invited my cousin Josue to share some songs, and you know he's real shy, and he's more of like he's got to have a mic in front of him and his keyboard, and he'll start to talk. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, he's just like, if he's like, you know, out here, he won't say anything. So he calls and he tells me, hey man, you know, they want me to play. You mind being there with me? You mind joining me at the program? I was going to be there regardless, right? It's my aunt's funeral service, but he said, you mind coming over? So we practiced together a little bit, and then, you know, I was going to help him with the bass guitar. So then I go to Guitar Center to buy stuff for my program. It's like, man, if I had my own system, we can take it to the funeral home, because funeral homes, you know, their system, they got nice things, but it's like super quiet stuff, you know. It's not, I mean, we weren't gonna rock out, right? We were at a funeral service, but I wanted it to sound nice, you know. I wanted to have a nice service for my aunt, so I went and I bought the PA system with the mixer and cables, and you know, we had some good mics, and we brought them to the funeral home and we set up there, and I mean, it sounded legit, you know. It sounded really, really good. So that's kind of what also influenced me. Not just that, you know, just the fact that I was at Guitar Center, you know, that's the main thing. But so now I got my own system. I can, and me and John were talking yesterday. I think you and I were talking yesterday about, you know, how many doors open once you have your own system. You know, you can do different things. So we'll see what comes out of that.
How did you get the tour bus in the funeral home?
Yeah, that's a good question. No,
some tight turns in there, huh?
Yeah, some tight turns. So we show up Friday, and my cousin said, you know, service starts at 5 p.m., but you guys can be here at 4 p.m. an hour before so we can set up. So we show.
That's not enough time.
No, for sure. So No. Oh. So we show up at 3:30. We show up at 3:30, 3:45 or something, and we go in, and I talked to one of the directors there, and I'm like, hey man, we're gonna be playing during the service. And super nice people are like, yeah, for sure. Just tell us what you need. I was like, all I need is just some outlets. That's it. I got everything. I don't need anything else. He's like, you don't need to hook up to our system. I was like, no, we got it. I got speakers. I got mixers. I got cables. I got instruments.
I got a turntable. I got harmonicas.
Hey, it's funny you talk about turntables. That's our next thing right there. So, yeah, we were there at 3:45, and it's not enough time for sure to set up, but we had, you know, we had some family members there. Some of the people from the funeral home, they helped us unload all our equipment, and we set up like the quickest I've ever moved. I mean, we needed to move, so we set up real quick. We tested real quick, and we went live. So that's how it happened.
I can tell you can like. Bernie's exuding with passion right now. You can just see it flowing out of him.
I'm hyped up, like I want to go to Guitar Center right now. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm probably there. So the Sugarland is right here. Westheimer's right there. And, you know, NASA Road is down this way. So I'm not far.
What's with the turntables? What's the plan with the turntables?
So just the fact that I'm so close to having a full audio system to you know, to use for our program, but also for, you know, if I want to participate like in an event or a birthday party or something, you know, I can play music. And, you know, I got my computer now. I got my audio system, my live sound. all I need is probably a turntable or something to where I can mix the music in and blend it in and whatnot. You know, I don't know much about it for sure, but you know, I just want to have some turntables.
No, you already got the MacBook, so you're already
I got
halfway
the
there.
M1. Yeah. Don't
Mike,
forget to mention it's the M1.
Yeah, Mike needs the M1 now.
Oh, come on. You need to start unboxing the stuff and using it though.
No, so here's the thing. If you go to my house and you go to the living room, I have like a
You
full
can't walk
setup.
through there.
Yeah, well, fortunately, you know, it's a big living room. So, but you look at the far right corner, and I got so I forgot to mention when I went and I bought the I want to say it was the interface. I bought an electric drum set. So I got an electric drum set at the house. What that's kind of a different thing though. My little boy Caden, you know, he's 12 years old, and he is learning how to do like all the live sound at church. Like they're teaching him how to mess with the mixer and stuff like that. So you know, he likes, like anybody else likes to play drums, you know, likes to go and mess with the drums. I mean, that's like a eye catcher, right? Whenever you go and you see a guitar, you'll see a bass guitar, you'll see, you know, a keyboard, but then you see the drums, he's like, oh, I want to do the drums, right? So he's been talking about, hey, Dad, you know, I want to really learn on the drums. And so I bought him a drum set, and we set it up in the living room, and it's a electronic drum set, so you can't hear it unless it's plugged up, right? It's got to be electric. So I bought the PA speaker, so I got a full-blown 12-inch.
Not headphones, but...
No, yeah, I guess you could have done headphones. I didn't think about that. But, so, yeah, you go to my living room, nothing is boxed anymore. Everything is unboxed and pretty much set up.
That's what I want to hear.
So
I've noticed, though, you've slowly integrated some of it, though, to your Saturday live streams, though. I feel like, because it, like, 1 week to the next week, it gets a little bit better, whether it's the camera, whether it's the audio. Yeah. You're slowly integrating it, which is nice.
So as far as for our program right now, and I always say the last thing I need, and it's never the last thing, right? But the last thing I need is, because I don't have a camera, so we still, you know, capture image off of phones. And my parents, we were talking last week, and you know, they were asking me, hey, what all are you good, or what do you need? And it's like, all I need is a camera. That's it. I need to get me a GoPro or something, you know, just so I could get some better image, you know. And my dad was like, let's go get it, you know. Nice. He's like, I'll buy it for you. And I was like, I wanted to say, you know, yes, but kind of like, and it's bad that, you know, I don't think it's a pride thing. It's just like, you know, you like to be independent. And I like to say, you know, everything that, you know, I've put in, you know, I've put in myself. But at the same time, you know, they want to help. So it's like, you know, Dad, if you're listening, let's go get that camera. You know what I'm saying?
That's good too.
Yeah, for sure. But that's it. But yeah, every Saturday has gotten better. So as far as our equipment, things are gradually getting better. Yes, but it's more of like, to me, what I said as a priority is the way we're handling the program, like how we're doing like the songs, how we're bringing people in. Just things gotten better. So when we first started, you know, I would be, you know, with my microphone and be like, hey, we're fixing to try to join this guy from Honduras. He's fixing to join the stream. So then my wife, she's in the background with the phone, and she's trying to connect them to the stream, and we're not able to get good reception. So we're just kind of like talking, and then it's like, you know what, we're gonna sing a song. So it's like, I just said we were gonna bring this guy in, and now I'm saying, you know what, never mind, we're about to sing a song because we can't get this guy in. So now what we do is we'll make a schedule up, and the person that's going to join, I'll give them a time and say, hey, at 9:30, we're going to connect you. Be readily available. Be by your phone, because we're going to send you a request to join the stream. So I have a copy of it, you know, sitting on right next to me. My wife behind the camera, she's got a copy of it that's got the schedule, and then everybody that's going to be on there already knows what time. So come 9:30, you know, my wife starts connecting the person. She'll connect them, and, you know, I got a 42-inch TV that we use as a monitor so we can see ourselves, you know, so you can see while you're recording. Yeah. So I can see the stream there. So I can see whenever they actually successfully join the stream, we'll be playing a song, and then we'll just slowly fade into giving them the opportunity to start chiming in. So that's a big thing for me, you know.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
There's so much opportunities with equipment, what you're doing.
For sure.
It's like you have every situation, you know, bringing people in, talking to people, then playing music. They're also using the chat function in there if they just want to send a message. And who's managing that, like the messages? Are you still doing that?
So what we do is whenever they comment, if they comment, I'm seeing it on the monitor. So on the monitor, on the TV monitor, I can see these comments coming in, people requesting songs or prayer or just saying hello. So what we try to do is during our live stream, we'll start interacting with people. You know, we'll start, if they comment, hey, we'd like to hear this song, you know, I'll be like, hey, so-and-so is asking, can we sing this song? Now we're going to sing this song. So we interact through the comments. But if they send a message, it'll go to my phone, it'll go to my wife's phone. We both manage the page, you know what I'm saying? So, but we try to make it to where, we try to do it where it's not, we don't like to make it like off of private messages. We like people to interact through the comments, you know, because we're reading them then and there. So that's how we try to interact. You're
making people, like doing that, you're making people feel special. Like if their name pops up and you say, you know, John or whatever is commenting, that's such a rush of dopamine to that person's brain. But going deeper into it, you're spiritually touching that. Like if that person's truly going through a rough patch in their life and you saying, hey, we're praying for this person right there, that's such a huge thing you're doing to that person spiritually.
Yeah. So that's why we like to keep it to where we can interact and you know, with people, communicate with people through the comments, because, and you know, some things I wish worked better. For example, I wish I could get a full list of everybody that's viewing the stream then and there, but it goes by so fast. It'll say in the comments, it'll say, Mike Dular just joined is viewing now, and then John Alba's viewing now. Well, there's so many that come up that they'll just come off the screen and I can't read it anymore. And then I end up just seeing a total amount of people viewing. I wish I can like itemize and see every single person and shout out every single person, because, you know, we're grateful for them listening. But it like you said, it's like encouragement just to hear somebody shouting you out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's different too, because you'll have a lot of people in church. I'm one of them. I'll always speak up, but I'm even nervous to speak up in church. But this is an outlet for people that are introverted and want to get involved. They can just message. Yeah. Anybody will message because there's not a lot of risk.
Right.
So you found this little loophole where, you know, maybe people don't want to go to church. Maybe they're more introverted, don't want to really go out. I mean, I encourage anybody to go out, but during these times, and they can maybe that brings them to the point where they go into a church and then they start speaking up because they see that everybody has the same questions, or, you know, I think just more people want to be involved.
Yeah. There's like, you're welcoming people, whether, like Michael said, maybe they're nervous. You opening that door shows them, well, crap, man, Bernie and his group they're very welcoming individuals. So now I can go in and kind of state what I want to say.
Yeah. We try to make it that way. You'll be surprised. There's so many people that comment that I know do not even attend a church, probably have never been to church, but it's like, you know, they run into this program and they listen to the songs and the messages, and, you know, we try to give as much word of encouragement. So they'll interact. Like you said, Mike, it's like, it's not easy to speak up, you know. Had we been in a church service, you know, they're not going to raise their hand and say, hey, you know, can you pray for me? Or, hey, I enjoy this song. You know, they're not going to say nothing, you know, but it's easy to comment. You know, you don't know who it is. Most of the time, you may or may not know who it is, but it doesn't matter. You're just commenting on there. You know, you're not going live. You know, you're not physically talking to anybody. So it gives them encouragement to talk. So there's a lot of people that, again, don't even go to church, you know, and they'll ask for a prayer request. And it's like, you know, that's why we're here. You know, we're trying to help everybody out as much as we can.
I like that they always have that at the end of church where you come in and pray for me. You know, I have something going on. You know, my uncle's sick, or whatever the case is. And even those moments, people just don't want to go to the front, but they want to be prayed for. And some churches they'll come to your seat and then they'll come, you know, pray for you. But if you were to like set up something where you like, I don't know, DM you or like message in what what you want to be prayed for, then, they give that message to you. They're not getting up in public, and you can still do that.
Yeah. So one of the things we like to do is we'll say, we're going to pray for people will comment saying, they have a special prayer request, but other people, even then, even though it's so easy to comment, some people still don't have the courage to do it, don't have the courage to say, hey, Bernie, I have this issue and I like prayer. So we try to, we're doing this new thing where at the end we'll pray, for all the requests that come in. But at the same time, what we want to do, we want to make it even easier to where if you have a prayer request and you don't want to share it, just, hit the heart, icon or the care icon. Yes. That's it. You don't even have to tell us what it's about or nothing. Just hit something so we know, hey, this person's got this need. You know what I'm saying? It's even more comfortable. All you got to do is hit that button.
Yeah. You could just even do the prayer hands.
The prayer hands, whatever you want to do.
That'd be a cool way just to get everybody involved. Because a lot of times when you're at the church, you're watching and everything, but you don't feel like you're like always a part of it unless you're, part of the act or whatever. Yeah. I say act, but just, the church service.
The service, yeah.
But, man, it's just, there's so many opportunities in this realm, and you're not taking people from churches either, because he's, like he was saying, it's like you're almost bringing churches together.
Yeah.
Like we're all kind of the same. We're going to, to learn more about God.
Yeah.
And you may even be uniting them in some way, even though they're going to go to their churches still, but you can learn more about other people and the churches they go to and their views.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if it's a Hispanic thing or a pride thing or what it is, but at first, I mean, even now we still may run into this, but there was people that didn't trust our program. There were people that were saying, we would invite people and to come to our program, and it's like they would be super excited about it, because that's the other thing. Whenever we're bringing people in, like hosts and people that come visit, it's like a boost for them to hear. It's like if another podcast guy comes and says, "Hey, John and Mike, I'd like for you guys to come to ours." It's like, it's like, wow, people were out there listening. So we had people that we would invite, and they were super excited. I mean, I felt bad because they were so excited about it. They'd be like, yeah, we want to come. We know we'll bring our band. And then, a week later, it's like they're messaging me, hey, you know what? We're not going to be able to do it. And I'm like, what? Is everything okay, or do I need to speak to somebody else? I don't know. I'm trying to be transparent. Do I need to talk to somebody else just so I can tell them what our purpose is? We're not trying to bring you guys to our church. I mean, we want you guys to come for our program, but it's like, I'm gonna let you guys talk about your church. I'm not hiding anything. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of our issue. Where it's like, it's not really. They kind of don't trust what we're doing, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it sucks, man, because it's like, that's not our purpose. My thing is, I'm trying to bring people so that we can bless the people that are listening, but it's also a blessing just to hear from me saying, hey, we want you on our program. That's saying, hey, we've heard you before. We like the way you minister. So we would like for you to bring that so we can share it to everybody who can view it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people have that old-fashioned mentality that it's like, I don't know if we should trust you or not.
That's what I was going to say. It's probably older folks that are kind of, they're not accustomed to change. And what you're doing is totally different from what any other church has possibly done, especially in this area. I feel like you're doing some big Houston stuff.
Yeah.
Not something that no one's seen around here. So I'm sure they get excited and they're like, wait a minute. Why? This seems too good to be true. Why would this person ask me to come and promote myself on their?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to get to these people other than just speak the truth. And we talk about it during our program. It's like we're inviting people to come participate, or they want to join the stream. We're not. This is our sole purpose is just to bring praise and worship home. To people that can't go to church or just don't feel like going to church, whatever. that's ultimately our purpose. But some people still, you know, they're stuck with their old ways. It's like, oh, you know, this guy's fixing to take our musician, or
it'll catch up, man.
Yeah, I think so.
Just keep doing it, and people will catch on really quickly that you're being genuine and you're not trying to fake anything.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that we're just pressing on. You know, we invite people, and it's like, you know, if they come, great. You know, that it's gonna be awesome. If they can't come, then, you know, so be it. You know, maybe we'll catch them later. Yeah. We'll see.
The big question.
Talk to me.
Where do you see this thing going in the future? Do you see you you know, getting video switchers, producers? Do you think you would start your own church? Do you see yourself getting your own building? What do you see? Where do you see yourself going in the future?
So right now, you know, week by week, we're making different improvements, but there's always what's a year from now vision, you know, what's 6 months from now. So my biggest thing is I want to have my own building to where we can do this. That way maybe we can do it, you know, on a Saturday at 10 p.m., you know, and then go from 10 to 1 or 2 in the morning. I can't do that at church because the church is, you know, centered in between a neighborhood. So, you know, we can't be jamming out at 1, 2, 3 in the morning. You know, I mean, it's bad enough, you know, from 8 to 12, you know, some people, even though it's Saturday, again, I feel like that's the best day to stay up late anyways, right?
Yeah.
So we don't have that same, you know, we don't have that liberty to do what we want. So I want to have we want to have our own place, you know, and it doesn't even have to, like, whenever I thought about you guys here, you're like, you know, everything here, your setup, I thought it was a lot bigger than this. So it's not, and which it's great. I mean, everything is awesome. It looks great. So now I know that I don't have to, like, I'm thinking, man, if these guys, you know, got this big old setup, and, you know, I'm going to need space for a drum, you know, a key instruments. I'm going to need space for a couple people, plus, you know, a little pulpit where the preacher can come and talk, you know. So it's like, man, you know, that's what I want, but it's like, man, I don't know if I can afford it. But now it's like, you know, I don't have to. Now I see here, it's like, man, this is pretty legit. I can do something like this because I can probably do what we do in a studio this size right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to downplay your studio by any means.
I hate your studio.
Get out. But no,
we're gonna end our session right here.
we were gonna utilize the whole room, you know.
Yeah.
But
so why didn't you?
What we found, you know, we're filming in these wide angle lenses, so it captures a lot of things. There's settings, we can change the settings a little bit, but we wanted a little wide angle feel because we're trying to capture us two in the same shot. But just as trial and error. I mean, like, you learn a lot by doing, like, as you've seen and how you've purchased new product, you know, new equipment and stuff. But what we found is, you know, you just utilize half the room, and the less room, the more control you have. Yeah. Like, we can control the light in this little area more so than if we were to open up the whole room. Then we need more light. We can just, so if you have a small room, you can control all your light, your sound, your soundproofing. Like, I feel, I have no experience, but I just feel like I have more control in a smaller space if you can do it. Now, you're going to need a larger space because you have a band, but
yeah, but not much larger than this. So that's the other reason I kind of bought my own audio system, because you're right. Like, if everything is closer to you, you can control it better. So now that I have, you know, some speakers, I got a mixer, I got, you know, cable, I got everything I need. I almost want to bring that to our church and then just set up with my system, because then I can have my mixer like right there next to me, you know. And we can hear ourselves. I can adjust it. So the reason I say that is because right now at church, we're doing everything, you know, up close. We're doing everything in the front of the church, but the mixer and everything is in the back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, if we need adjustment, we need somebody there to run to the back, all the way to the back of the church and mess with something.
Dang.
So it's like, now it's like, man, if I get my own thing, you know, if we have our own thing now, I can bring it to church, set it up, and then just run everything, like my main, like the brain and everything, the mixer, the controls just right in front of me. And I can I can adjust it. So shout out to you guys for giving me that idea. You know what I mean?
Man, I have so many ideas for you that you just have, you're going to do so many things that you can utilize other equipment, whereas, we're just in front of a camera. But, man, the video mixer, but you're going to need a producer at some point, whether it be your boy or your wife. You need to utilize the family. Or us. Man, you can do like a 3-camera video switcher, but someone that can manage it so you don't have to worry about it. But you can totally do it. Sorry, you can totally do it yourself because, you just can. But it isn't fun running in the back of the room, making an adjustment on the mixer.
And what we do right now is if my little boy is there, so the church is in Lake Jackson where we do it. So my wife's aunt lives next to the church. So, and she has kids, and grandchildren. They're all my daughter. My daughter's 16 and my son is 12. That's the ages of my nephews. So they enjoy going Saturday because they'll hang out for a little bit while we start the stream and whatnot. But then they'll just roam over to their aunt's house. So they'll go over there and, they'll mess around over there, and then they'll come back at the end when they know when we're about to end the stream. So they'll come back over, but they go over there, they come back. But again, when my son does go, that's who I try to, get involved with the sound. And because he's learning it, you know what I'm saying? I'm really hoping, praying to God that he gets good at it, like if he gets good at it, I'll get him some legit equipment, just like anything else, any other hobby, right? If you got, your daughter, if she enjoys gymnastics, you don't mind putting her or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I want him to go that route, I want him to learn equipment. So I bought, again, I got a key, I got a electronic drum set, and I bought, I got a keyboard and I got a bass guitar. So I'm trying to teach him on everything. Like I want him to be really, really good. You know what I'm saying? I want him to have that music ear. I want him to learn like the technical stuff too, for sure. But I want him to also I'm trying to make him learn on a keyboard because to me, keyboard and guitar are the hardest instruments to learn on. Maybe not hardest, but just time consuming. So I'm trying to get him on the hard stuff first. And really, I'd like to buy him like a saxophone and just join band or something, something hard, something that not anybody can play.
Yeah, music expands the brain too, the kid's mind.
Yeah.
Where they're not consumed in their tablet or whatever game he's playing.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, he's consumed in all that stuff for sure. He's 12, but he sees, again, and I think it's a good idea to have the instruments in the living room because he'll walk right by him, and then every now and then he'll stop and start messing with the drums instead of going to his room to play Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? So it's good, but yeah, he tries to learn a little bit of everything, and he's real. He's a real good kid. My daughter, she's a good kid too, but she's 16, she's a teen already, and that's a whole different story right there. That's a whole different. It's a whole podcast. You know what I'm saying?
What, can't she sing?
Yeah. So at church, my daughter Lindsay and my wife Maria, they sing at church.
Nice.
They just started about 3 or 4 months ago.
Wow.
So they're part of the choir. And when I say choir, don't think like 50 people. It's like 6 people, and you know what I'm saying?
49.
Yeah. Don't think 50. So they sing in the choir there. So we want to get later in the future, I want to get my wife. So my wife will help with the recording, and my cousin Josue's wife, Lizette, she helps with the recording too. So it's great because they are, my wife and my cousin's wife, they're related. So they're real close to each other. So they'll be there messing with cameras. They'll answer personal messages, and so we want to get them involved later in the actual program, just so you can see who's behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so it's funny, whenever I'll miss out, we're watching the monitor and I'm seeing comments come in, and I'll miss something, and my wife or Lizette will notice we missed something that needs to be talked about. So they gotta they'll write down on a notepad or on a board. They'll write down like some messages for me, and they'll be right behind the camera, and they're like doing this, and I'm like, I got you. So we work really good together. So hopefully we can get them involved a little bit more later. But they do. I think they do the hard part, messing with everything in between the program. So whenever we got special preachers coming in, they'll bring them into church, and they'll give them the whole scoop. Hey, this is how it's gonna go down. This is what's gonna happen. This is what you guys need to do. And then so it's some good stuff for sure.
Those are your producers right there.
Yeah, they do the, like I say, I like to say they do the hard part. You know what I'm saying? We're just sitting there and we're talking and singing, but they're handling everything else behind the scenes.
Yeah, giving them little responsibilities and saying, hey, get creative with this, whether it be a big task or small. Goes a long way, and can just build y'all, even as a family. But he's only a few, some big glasses away from Selena's dad.
I know.
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. I told him, I kid you not, I will probably look like Selena's dad here in another 6 months from just like the stress that comes, And it's not even, the stress is not even work related. Like, I'm on a whole different vibe on work now, right? Yeah. I like my job, don't get me wrong, but it's like, my work used to be my thing. Like, I'd go home and think about work, and it's like, why? Why do that? There's so many other things you can focus on. So now it's like, I'll go to work, and we'll do our thing there or whatever. But my mind is somewhere else for sure, and that's Guitar Center.
We're on the same vibe, all three of us, because I think we used to all kind of
for sure
think of work the same way, where work was our lives.
Yeah, and I don't know. Mike was asking me before we started. He's like, "You don't really care, or what?" It's like, I care about my job. I just don't. It's not. I'm not passionate about it. Like, I have other priorities in front of me now that I'm more passionate about.
Yeah.
Well, let's get this straight. Like, we're hard workers at work, but we leave work at work, and we didn't before.
We didn't
before, and it's natural. That's what we're supposed to do. We can have our own, passion projects. People have family. I mean, you have people. That's the hard thing, is to not leave work at work and to bring it home and let it affect your personal life. What we're doing is just, a long time coming. We should have done this a long time ago. And just, put some of this effort and work in ourselves, because,
we're ultimately just a digit for the company we work for. If we got hit by a beer truck or if we left, it doesn't matter. So
for sure,
I think leaving it, like when we clock in, at whatever time we clock in and leave whatever time we clock at, it all stays there.
Yeah, and I don't know how long you guys have been on this vibe. I just started on, what is it, the cool vibe? I don't know what we're calling it now, but I just started kind of this last year. I went through some things where my father-in-law passed, and he passed from COVID, and he passed in August of last year. And he would always talk to me and say, hey, priorities, you gotta, serve God, let God do his thing, work in your life. And I would ask him for, sometimes I'd ask him for advice. Don't get me wrong, my parents were great parents. My dad would give me of course, your dad giving you the best advice he can give you. But my father-in-law we would jump into uncomfortable conversations, me and my father-in-law were. He would ask me, questions, hey, are you going to church? And, up until August, I wasn't, I'd go every now and then. And, but he would ask me, hey, are you going to church? Hey, are you doing this and that? And then I would come back and be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, what do you think? And he would default to God, what would God, what would WWJD, what I'm saying? So it's like, it'd be so uncomfortable, but he'd give me so good advice, that it's like I needed it, so I would talk to him a lot. And, I'd ask him, hey, I'm thinking about buying a house, last year. And he would say, think about it, do you really want to jump into a 30-year mortgage or whatever, keep that money, enjoy it with your family. If you have a nice home now, don't try to, wish you had things that you don't really need. So he'd always, again, super uncomfortable for me because it's like, that's not what I want to hear. You know, I want to hear you say, yeah, jump the boat. Let's do it. Let's do it. And he wouldn't do that. So he got sick in August, and he got sick with COVID and complications, and he ended up passing. He was only, I don't know, like 58, 59. He was young. Yeah. So, you know, after he passed, you know, I really took the passion, you know, everything he talked to me about it, you know, everything he used to say to me. So it's like, you know, I'm just wasting my time. It's like, you know, work, or, you know, and it's like, what about family time? You know, what about God time? What about going to church? What about serving God? So it's like, you know, I really need to set my priorities straight. So that's when I started my cool vibe, you know, whenever it's just like, you know, I'm going to leave work at work. Work is going to be there, you know, when you come back, regardless of what it looks like, whether you leave it in good shape or it's crap, you know, but when you come back, it's still going to be there. So it's like, you know, yeah, I still enjoy doing my job, you know, but that's just not my priority anymore.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes something significant like that happening. I mean, we had some family pass not too long ago from COVID, and it's like, it's an eye opener. It's like,
for sure.
It's like everything just gets compressed into this moment, and then you know, life is a long time.
Yeah.
But when someone passes, it's like, you know, what can you say you did in your life that you can, you know, what did you do?
Yeah.
And it's and if you spent all your life at work and worked overtime and it's like, you know, should you have done it different? You know? Yeah,
for sure. Like, perfect example today, you know, I took the day off I say I take the day off, but I don't work on Fridays. See, it's even still engraved in me where it's like, I took the day off. No, I don't work on Fridays. I just choose to work on Fridays. So it's like, you know, I show up over here this morning, and then people were calling me, and they're like, hey, man, you know, what's going on?
Everything okay?
You're not here. Yeah. It's like, man, you know, it's gotten to the point where it's like people think you live at work, you know? I tell, you know, Jessica Gonzalez, when we talk, you know, at work, she's, I always tell her, you know, you live at work and you visit your house. That's what you do. Cause she works a lot, you know, and it's like, spend some more time with your family, you know, do things you like to do, you know, go and enjoy yourself, you know, work will always be there. So
I love Jessica. She's good.
She's funny.
She's great. She's great.
She's on my side though. Don't talk to her no more.
She's on your side, but
everyone wishes Bernie was on your side.
Yeah. So I don't know.
That's my nightmare.
I don't know if people on the cast, you know, might not know, but me and Mike, you know, we have the same job, bro. But
he's been doing it longer. I don't know you're training coordinator.
Let's not get into this crap.
Yeah, so it's
let's not talk about me.
No, shout out to Mike because he's the one who trained me, you know, in what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? Well, even before that, doing permits, safe work permits, that's where he started training me. He didn't, he's zero patience guy, but you know, I got my skills pretty sharp, so it's good. I'm
Mike
grateful.
helped train me too when I got a different role.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike's a good guy, isn't he?
What did he train you with him? How to change the trash cans.
What's that?
What do you train you with? Doing what?
Well, diamond learning or no. He helped me. Big shot. Learn the equipment around the facility.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's good.
Mike's a nice guy, isn't he?
It's good to know the equipment.
He's just super nice guy. No, yeah, like even Mike, like if you look at Mike throughout the years, and this ain't like, you know, biography of Mike. This is
turning into my podcast.
This is still this is still Adoracion en Casa.
Adoracion en Casa.
But if you look at Mike, it's like, you know, things are different. And I don't know if it's whenever he got moved to a different department or even then if it took some time, but his attitude, everything kind of shifted. I know when he left where we're at right now.
Yeah.
There was people that were happy he was gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, never heard this.
Yeah, for sure. There was people that, not our coworkers, but people that come, you know, contractors would come to the plant and they're like, man, you know, it was hard to talk to that guy. It was just the way his vibe was, you know, like he's a great guy, but it's just the way he maybe not anymore. I don't know. I mean, we don't work in the same department.
He's still the same way.
They're still the same way.
This is all new to me right now.
No, well, it's like even editing the podcast. You expect things to be done the way that they're supposed to be done, which is great. Not everyone has that mentality, right?
Dang, high expectations. Huh?
No, it's not. It's just, it's easy to get away with things at our job. It's easy just to kind of do the bare bones minimum, but we don't do that.
Yeah, so, it's more, I don't know, maybe we're just too nice, or I don't know what it is. Maybe, you know, maybe it's a bad thing, but everybody works different, you know, whatever. So it is what it is. Well, I mean, but Mike, you know, he's great at what he does for sure, but not as good as
let's end on that. You somehow find a way to drop this mic. I guess pull the stand down or something.
Yeah,
but.
For sure. So,
all right, Bernie, you're better than me.
That's for sure. So, hey, do you guys don't talk to me about? Hey, talk to me. There we go. Here we go. Do you guys any musical instrument experiences? Maybe not experiences, background, or you guys? Mike, I feel like you would be a guitarist, Mike. If you're not, you just don't know you're a guitarist. You just don't know it.
It's just an illusion, man. I have the look, but no.
I feel like if I bring a guitar and I put it in front of you, you're just gonna start playing it.
He turns into Jimi Hendrix.
Yes, like just jamming out.
The extent of my skills, there's like pitch perfect. When she does the cup thing, I can do that.
That's
perfect.
really good.
Okay, that's a skill.
That's good.
But
have you ever had a microphone in front? I'm sorry, an instrument in front of you?
You're gonna ask me that right when I have a microphone.
Can't tell. Have you ever had a guitar? Have you ever grabbed an instrument?
I have a 44 key. I have a full piano set.
You have a full PA system in the bag with the mixer.
You do. I just need to go to your house and pick up one of the mini instruments. But I have a 44 key little. Piano, and I tried to learn that. I want to learn that because I hear that's the
that little kid toys 44 key.
I got it from Guitar Center, so I mean,
shout out to Guitar
I thought he got that at Toys R Us. It's like a little.
It's full size for John though.
I walked right into that, didn't I?
No, you know how pianists they'll try to make it all fancy. This is the keyboard, and then they'll do this, and they're like doing all of this.
Yeah,
you know that's John with that little mini.
Oh yeah,
Mike does that.
Take a step to get across.
Mike does that with a wide angle lens on the GoPro when he's playing. He's like, "Look, Courtney, I'm doing really good on her."
That's funny. What about you, John?
No,
nothing.
Dude. No instruments. I did a little DJing back in the day, but no instruments.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some advice on whether I need turntables or not here in the near future.
You know, if you
because, like I said, I have the whole system ready. It's like, man, I can go to a birthday party and just play some music for somebody. I can go to a venue. I mean, I got it now.
You know, if you talk to me, I'm going to talk you into buying whatever.
You are, but it's like I can't say no. You know what I'm saying? I can't, I know that it. So I told Colin, because he's talking about getting a computer because of his skateboarding or bicycling or whatever. Yeah. And it's like, I was like, I'm starting to turn into you guys. It's like, mainly John, because it's like, he comes over to my office and he's like, hey man, I'm doing this. I'm like, bro, you're gonna need an M1, And he's like, nah, he's like, I don't need that. He's like, I don't need to spend that much money. I was like, it's not about the money, man. You just need to get it. And he's like, I don't know. I think he said, I'm going to go talk to John. I was like, yeah, go do that. See where that goes. That's a whole, let's go to Academy, get my duck hunting license
it's Bernie
again.
In your office. He's like, hey, you want to know some more?
Yeah. So he, he talked about it and I'm like, man, you really need to get this. And I'm like, man, I'm turning to you guys. You really need this. You need it, but you don't really need it. You know what I'm saying? But you need it.
But give it to me.
Yeah, Colin, if you're listening, you better have that M1 already on its way.
Well, Bernie, I love hanging out with you, by the way. I don't think I've ever told you, but I tell Mike this about you all the time, is you have this aura about you that makes me feel, sounds weird, but you make me feel, you're one of the people that you make me feel clean when I'm around. Cool. Does that make sense? Like, you make me feel like a good person when I'm around you. Same with Mike. Y'all, I like vibing with y'all. So this was very fun.
Yeah, man, for sure. I appreciate you guys. I can see you guys, like, you guys have gotten even closer now that you got this, hobby and interest, kind of this, you guys are going the same way, the same route. So I enjoy watching you guys. I enjoy watching y'all's cast, and I subscribed a long time ago. I'll follow you guys.
I'll check.
I can check right now. You know what I'm saying?
Hit the like button.
Yeah, no, but yeah, man, I enjoy it. And again, I'm just we're just here trying to be a blessing to people that listen. And, you know, again, that's my focus was, you know, I appreciate you guys inviting me over. And, you know, my thing is, you know, we just want to make, we want to bless other people through our program. So it's like, you know, that's where it's at. Adoracion en Casa. You know what I'm saying?
I love when you say that.
Adoracion en Casa.
So where can people find you? What time? What social media can they check you out?
So if you look at, we have a Facebook page, Adoracion en Casa. And yesterday I just made our channel, our YouTube channel, just yesterday. So it's called the same, Adoracion en Casa. So I don't have a video yet. We're going to start posting probably, today's Friday, probably either tonight or tomorrow. I want to get a video going, maybe a song or something, so we can already start putting some content up. So we have Facebook and YouTube. But I think our biggest thing, our calling is to stream through Facebook just because of the interaction. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you can probably do that through YouTube too. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with it just yet. I mean, I know it sounds dumb, but I don't really. I mean, I watch videos on YouTube, but I need to get some more info on how to, you know, what's behind, like, you know, streaming live and how to, if it works identical. It may work identical to Facebook. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, that's where you can check you out. So Facebook and YouTube right now.
For sure. Yeah. For now.
Well,
yeah.
I enjoyed it, Bernie.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Bye.